I am continuing in my reading. What I'm doing in this series is to read through the entire standard works of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. This consists of the Bible, the Book of Mormon, the Doctrine and Covenants, and the Pearl of Great Price. I am continuing reading in a chronological order, according to event, not according to publication or volume, so I'm skipping around a bit as I move along. We continue reading in the Gospels. We are on the day before the Passover, which will begin the process of the atonement. What we've been reading most recently has been the prophecy of Christ about the last days, which is recorded in Matthew chapter 24, Mark chapter 13, and Luke chapter 21. Now, we read that in the King James and in the Joseph Smith translation, all separate videos. Very powerful, very profound prophecy. According to Matthew and Mark, this prophecy was given while Christ is on the Mount of Olives with just his apostles. Luke seems to indicate that at least a portion of it was given in the temple, while some of it was likely given outside. But I think it was most likely on the Mount of Olives with the apostles. Now what we're going to read is Matthew chapter 25, which continues Christ's words at this time. So this is still on the Mount of Olives with the 12 apostles. And in this chapter, we will read three of the more famous parables. I think these might even be the last parables that Christ teaches before his crucifixion. And once again, I will be reading in the King James in this video, and I will do the Joseph Smith translation in a separate video. I'm not sure how much there is there, but I'm going to do it as a separate video anyways. So we begin. Matthew chapter 25. Then shall the kingdom of heaven be likened unto 10 virgins, which took their lamps and went forth to meet the bridegroom. And 5 of them were wise, and 5 were foolish. They that were foolish took their lamps, and took no oil with them. But the wise took oil in their vessels with their lamps. While the bridegroom tarried, they all slumbered and slept. And at midnight there was a cry made, Behold, the bridegroom cometh, go ye out to meet him. Then all those virgins arose and trimmed their lamps, and the foolish said unto the wise, Give us of your oil, for our lamps are gone out. But the wise answered, saying, Not so, lest there be not enough for us and you. But go ye rather to them that sell, and buy for yourselves. And while they went to buy, the bridegroom came, and they that were ready went in with him to the marriage, and the door was shut. Afterward came also the other virgins, saying, Lord, Lord, open to us. But he answered and said, Verily I say unto you, I know you not. Watch therefore, for ye know neither the day nor the hour wherein the Son of Man cometh. Just a few brief things on the customs of marriage. There's a nice old seminary video about it, but basically the bride would be at the feast or the place of marriage. She would be getting ready. The groom would be somewhere else, probably in his own house, and he would be getting ready. And when he was ready, him and his friends would start a procession down the street, and all the guests would line the street and wait for him. And as he passed by, they would join the procession and march on to the marriage feast. And when they got to the marriage feast, the marriage ceremony would take place, and then they would have their banquet. And that's what these 10 virgins are doing. They're waiting on the roadside, waiting for the bridegroom to come. But the bridegroom takes a bit longer, and so when he comes, as it says, the 5 foolish, their lamps have gone out, and according to the tradition, they are supposed, in order to join the procession, you have to have your own light to be part of the procession. So you're supposed to be lining the streets with your own lamps lit, so that the groom knows the path to follow to the bride. So if you don't have a light, you're not supposed to be part of the procession. That is why the foolish have to go and get oil so that they can have their own light. Now, a couple of things about this parable that have been pointed out by modern prophets is, first of all 10 virgins are a part of the kingdom of heaven. They are all waiting for the bridegroom. They're waiting for Christ's return. So the foolish are not the non-Christians. They're not even the other Christians of other denominations. They are members of Christ's church. They are members of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, but they are not prepared. They are not doing what they need to do to be ready for Christ's return. The other thing to mention is, why can't the wise share with the foolish? A lot of people have brought this up and wondered why. The simple fact is that we can't. The oil represents our own obedience, our own preparation, our willingness to do what God has commanded. And it doesn't matter how faithful I am. My faith cannot make somebody else faithful. My faith cannot forgive people of their sins. This is a power that only Christ has. Through his atonement, he has acted vicariously for us. But we can't act vicariously for each other. Now, through ordinances in the temple, we can provide ordinances vicariously for others. But they still have to be the ones to accept it. They still have to be the ones to choose to believe. We can't do that for them. And that's why in the parable, the wise do not share with. But let us move on, picking it up in verse 14. For the kingdom of heaven is as a man traveling into a far country, who called his own servants and delivered unto them his goods. And unto one he gave 5 talents, to another 2, and to another 1, to every man according to his several ability, and straightway took his journey. Then he that received the 5 talents went and traded with the same, and made them other 5 talents. And likewise he that had received 2, he also gained other 2. But he that had received 1 went and digged in the earth, and hid his Lord's money. After a long time the Lord of those servants cometh and reckoneth with them. And so he that hath received 5 talents came, and brought other 5 talents, saying, Lord, thou deliverest unto me 5 talents. Behold, I have gained beside them 5 talents more. His Lord said unto him, Well done, thou good and faithful servant. Thou hast been faithful over a few things. I will make thee ruler over many things. Enter thou into the joy of thy Lord. He also that had received 2 talents came and said, Lord, thou deliverest unto me 2 talents. Behold, I have gained 2 other talents beside them. His Lord said unto him, Well done, good and faithful servant. Thou hast been faithful over a few things. I will make thee ruler over many things. Enter thou into the joy of thy Lord. Then he which had received the 1 talent came and said, Lord, I knew that thou art an hard man, reaping where thou hast not sown, and gathering where thou hast not strawed. And I was afraid, and went and hid thy talent in the earth. Lo, there thou hast that is thine. His Lord answered and said unto him, Thou wicked and slothful servant, thou knewest that I reap where I sowed not, and gather where I have not strawed. Thou oughtest therefore to have put my money to the exchangers, and then at my coming I should have received mine own with usury. Take therefore the talent from him, and give it to him which hath 10 talents. For unto every one that hath shall be given, and he shall have abundance. But from him that hath not shall be taken away even that which he hath. And cast ye the unprofitable servant into outer darkness. There shall be weeping and gnashing of teeth. Now this is very similar to what we read in Luke with the parable of the 10 pounds. Although there we had 10 servants each getting 1 pound, but this, we have the talents and pounds are basically the same thing. So this is at the second coming. Those who have been given authority by God on the earth, if they have not used that authority properly, if they have not used their gifts wisely and brought in and increased the kingdom, then they will be rejected by God. And that is, we could say that is missionary work. The 5 talents that are brought in are, bringing in more into the fold. It can also be strengthening the church, strengthening the members that are already here. But in either case, it is increasing the kingdom. And those who do not use the talents that God has given them, well, they're going to be rejected. And I do find it funny, we're talking talents literally it's a sum of money. It's not a coin, it's an amount. But in the modern day, we talk about talents as being our skills and abilities. But also note that in this parable, God only gave the servants authority over that which they were capable of handling. He does not call people into positions of authority that they are not able to fill. Let us read the last parable in this chapter, picking it up in verse 31. When the Son of Man shall come in his glory, and all the holy angels with him, then shall he sit upon the throne of his glory, and before him he shall gather all nations, and he shall separate them one from another, as a shepherd divideth his sheep from the goats. And he shall set the sheep on his right hand, but the goats on his left. And he shall set the sheep on his right hand, but the goats on the left. Then shall the king say unto them on his right hand, Come, ye blessed of my Father, inherit the kingdom prepared for you from the foundation of the world. For I was an hungered, and ye gave me meat. I was thirsty, and ye gave me drink. I was a stranger, and ye took me in. Naked, and ye clothed me. I was sick, and ye visited me. I was in prison, and ye came unto me. Then shall the righteous answer him, saying, Lord, when saw we thee an hungered, and fed thee, or thirsty, and gave thee drink? When saw we thee a stranger, and took thee in, or naked, and clothed thee? Or when saw we thee sick, or in prison, and came unto thee? And the king shall answer and say unto them, Verily I say unto you, inasmuch as ye have done it unto one of the least of these my brethren, ye have done it unto me. Then shall he say also unto them on the left hand, Depart from me, ye cursed, into everlasting fire, prepared for the devil and his angels. For I was an hungered, and ye gave me no meat. I was thirsty, and ye gave me no drink. I was a stranger, and ye took me not in, naked, and ye clothed me not, sick and in prison, and ye visited me not. Then shall they also answer him, saying, Lord, when saw we thee an hungered, or athirst, or a stranger, or naked, or sick, or in prison, and did not minister unto thee? Then shall he answer them, saying, Verily I say unto you, inasmuch as ye did it not to one of the least of these, ye did it not unto me. And these shall go away into everlasting punishment, but the righteous into life eternal. I'm going to make only one comment on this one. This is already getting a very long video, so notice that when Christ is dividing the sheep from the goats, and what does he base it on? It is not based on, oh, you believed and confessed me, and so you're good. It is, you did. You acted in this way. And by making those choices, by performing those actions, you have proven yourself worthy of this blessing of eternal life. On the other hand, those who do not act, those who do not do the will of the Father, they are the ones that do not receive eternal life. And on a final note, notice that each of these parables are talking about the second coming, the last days, but each has a different message. These are not three parables teaching the same thing. The first parable is teaching those who are prepared, those who they are waiting and they are doing the will of the Father in preparation for the second coming. With the 10 talents, this is those who are given authority on the earth. Are we doing what God has called us to do? Are we magnifying our callings? And in the third one, this isn't just are we preparing for the second coming, but are we helping our fellow men? Those who are loving their neighbor as themselves gain eternal life. Each of these has a different message. But I'm going to leave that there. We will read the Joseph Smith translation in the next video, so I will see you there.